page would say live right there at the top. And I'm not. It's live.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 8 of Coffee and Tea with Desi P. We are gradually getting up to closing this season 1 out. The season 1 out because we're on episode 8. We got 2 more episodes after this. So I want to go through last week's news. Congrats to Stone Creek Junior High girls for taking the championship win, undefeated through the district. I want to give a big thanks to Deshaun Jackson and Shontae Armstrong for getting those girls in shape and letting them getting them to win that championship. Also, singer Angie Stone had passed away in a fatal accident, so condolences to her family. Congrats to Bentley Bowl. They're opening up a restaurant coming soon here in Bakersfield. So as I get more details on that, I'll post them on my Facebook page. So this week's news is coming soon. I may be canceling the Taste of Bakersfield. I don't know yet. I'll keep you guys posted. I have the Soul Fest, the second annual Soul Fest coming up too, September 7th. So I want to make sure that I'm giving myself enough room to make sure everything is comes together. So if I can do it, then I will. If not, then I will cancel the Taste of Bakersfield, but I need to talk to the other parties before I make that next step. Remember, the R&B Soul Fest is September 7th, and it will be a tribute to Luther Vandross. So it's going to be a good one. Tickets and stuff won't even go on sale to June, so I'll keep you guys posted on that. Save the date. Also, Bakersfield Baddest Annual is coming up next week, I believe. I'll make sure of that. I will post more info on my page, so be prepared for that coming up soon. West High Hall of Fame this Saturday, recognizing one of my true dear, I can call her a friend, a mom, or everything, Diane McGee. They will be honoring her, and that will be at the Stockdale Country Club. Tickets are on sale now. So, with that being said, you guys know Coffee and Tea with Desi P is raw, and it's uncut, and this is for mature audience only. We will be discussing some moments with my guests that will be emotional. It'll be, and this is live, so I want to make sure you guys know that please have a mature mind and know that everything that's being said is coming from someone's life. So please be mature and understand what's going on. So I want to bring in the camera my dear cousin, Miss Shontae Parker. Hey. So, how you been? Blessed, yes. So I know you've been here for a little bit. I know you moved out of here a while ago, and you're back for a little bit. Tell me what's going on, before we get into
what's new. I'm planning on opening up my own foundation out here for girls for prostitution.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's good.
That's kind of my focus right now is helping our young girls to have a better understanding.
Right.
That you can get out of it. Depends on if you want to or not.
So everyone, we will be talking about prostitution. Shontae is going to go into her history of how she started, why she started, and where she is at today. So let's go ahead and dig in. Let's go back. What was the moment where you woke up and said, this is something I have to do, or did you feel like,
or I'm gonna be a hoe? Let's just be it started for me at age 9. That's the reality for me. It started for me at 9. And when I started to realize that I can get some money, it was because my uncles were pimps at the time. Started out in Wasco, California, which Wasco is a pipeline from here to Bakersfield.
Mhm.
I had 2 uncles that were pimps, and I would be in the living room and I would hear the stories about. So for me, at age 9, when I found out that I can suck a popsicle, which I didn't let my kids suck them, but I did.
Right.
At age 9, I found out that, okay, it's a gold mine for me. On top of the fact my mama was sick. My mama was on dope. I was always at Granny's. I was always a pass along kid. Let's fast forward. By the time I got to high school, I knew I didn't fit. You know, I met my first trick at age 13, coming from Wasco State Prison in a truck.
Mhm.
So that was my first joyride was, 13.
So wait, let's go back because you said at 9.
9.
So
I was
you know,
being curious and knowing about hoeing, and my uncles didn't have the Cadillacs. It was in the house. So if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna be paid for it. I'm gonna be a straight prostitute. I'm gonna go get this money.
so but I'm saying at 9 years old, kids are usually, playing with dolls and this and that.
That wasn't
What
wasn't my lifestyle. That wasn't for me. My mother was sick all the time. My mom was in a mental institution.
Mm-hmm.
So I already had abandonment issues because my mother was never there. Okay. It was either at Granny's or Annie's house. I didn't fit in with their lifestyle because she already had her kids. Okay. So to me, I already felt like I was thrown away.
Right.
Even though I had my Annie there and she had a good job, had a husband, had 2 beautiful daughters, all the stuff, I still never fit. Right. It wasn't for me. So at that time, it went from there to I got getting in the real world. I got a taste of LA.
Right.
So I would go from there and be sent to LA. Back and forth. I got a taste of certain dynamics of 2 different family styles.
Right.
My grandpa was a farmer, Bud Willow, Bakersfield.
Right.
But it got real for me when I got to high school. Y'all playing volleyball, I'm gonna go get this bag. I'm buying the whole football team lunch at Taco Bell. Right. Where'd you get that type of money? Oh, I'll be back. I'm leaving school.
Right.
It's just the principle. It's not that I didn't have the guidance of what I had with parents, but they weren't my parents. Mm. They weren't my parents. That's why it's important to pay attention to your kids.
What about your father? Was he involved?
My father was never present. I didn't find out who my real father was till 2 years ago, and I'm 40.
Do you feel like your father not being around played a big part of why you made that decision?
Yes.
Yeah. And why do you feel that way?
I feel that way because I didn't have no father figure. I had grandpa. Grandpa's routine was get up in the morning at 6 o'clock, which I had structure. Go get the pigs, go get the chicken. That was a daily routine. I'm an only child, so I had to play with myself and by myself to really conform into anything else because my cousins were older than me.
Right.
So what do you do then? So you're easily you can just pick and choose from what you want to do. I didn't want to conform and to be like everybody else.
Right. So at 9, when did you? Okay, let's say this. When was your first? Did you feel like you needed a pimp, or did you go out and do your own thing? And
I was my own pimp. I was ready by pimp.
And what year? How old were you when you did your first trip?
13.
13.
13.
And so let's go back to that day. How did that day?
Oh, I'm coming from school. Dude pulled up in a truck. Want to go to Valley Plaza, go shopping? I said, sure.
And you didn't know him?
From a can of paint. Sure. Why not? How much money you got? Mm-hmm. Took me to Valley Plaza. Bought me all what I wanted.
Right.
Gave me $500 cash. All he wanted me to do was model with whatever it was at the time. He was a perk, you know what I mean, or whatever or whatnot. And that's how it started.
At 13, you wasn't scared getting in the vehicle?
Nah, because I already knew how to suck a dick. I already started at 9 with lollipops. That's the worst thing you can give your daughter is a big stick motherfucking ice cream and let her get on it. It's the worst thing you can do. When I had my daughter and she 18, we doing sandwiches. You're not going to no goddamn ice cream. You're not doing no lollipop on nothing.
Right.
Because that's how it was started for me. That's how I self-taught myself on how, okay, if it came down to it, if I lost my grandma and everybody, all in one, and it's just me, how I'm going to survive. It was survival mode for me. Prostitution is not always a choice.
Right.
It's a lifestyle.
Right. Something that you grew up in.
It's different. You got some girls that are forced. That's different. I wasn't forced. It was a choice for me. It was a lifestyle.
Oh, okay. So that day you modeled for him and you did
Sucked his dick, dropped me off. It became a routine. Every 2 weeks I was on his payroll. It was his routine every day. Until one day, my uncle and my cousin came out. And they like, it's a man sitting outside waiting on you. I said, yeah, it's a man outside waiting on me. And what about it?
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, my cousins is in high school. This is 1994, 1995.
Okay.
They going to Wasco High.
Right.
They got all the shit. I'm at a big house by myself. I can get into all kind of shit.
Right.
It just wasn't for me. I didn't fit in with none of my friends in school.
Right.
I didn't fit in with none of my friends that was in school. I tried the sports. It wasn't for me. By the time I hit 10th grade, I dropped out. I dropped out of school. I was done.
At 10th grade, you dropped out.
I dropped out and was in the streets from that point forward. Didn't go back to high school. I didn't graduate till I was 24 years old.
So, all this at 13, was you sober this whole time? Like,
no drugs, no nothing. I watched my mama do crack rock every damn day. Every day. It was a habit for her every day. From the time I went to school, she was on the corner. But one thing I can say about my mother being on drugs, she always had a place for me to stay. She always had a place for me to stay. From there to Good Samaritan Hospital, to all the way to Oxnard, to the mental institutions. That was my life. Fucked her up because they was jealous because she was pretty. They put a drink and they took that from me. So I didn't want to live with my auntie. I didn't want to fucking live with none of the people that I was passed around. So once I got my 10th grade year, check this out. Since I want to be grown, I'm out. I didn't take my auntie through the pain. I didn't take my grandma through the pain. Even though they was looking for me, I didn't want to be a destruction in their household. I was already to be a fuck up and a throwaway kid. Because I already felt like didn't nobody. I didn't feel like nobody wanted me.
Wow. And so you felt like, okay, well, let me just go out here and make my own
money. I got on the bus. I met, let's rewind, 95. My cousin was going to LA. She was how you call it, certain females, lollipop looking ass bitch. She was one of them. I got a degree, but you a hoe though. I hate them type of bitches. Being real. I hate a bitch that think because you got a high education, you don't have hoish ass tendencies.
Right.
Be a real bitch about what you do and how you do it.
Right.
That's why now she almost pushing goddamn 50, 56 and got a husband. But her daddy, she had her daddy though.
Right.
She had her mama though.
Mm-hmm.
Had one sister that, and I ain't gonna disclose no names, one sister became a correctional officer. The other sister basically became whoever she was. It's a group of them.
Yeah.
You know, they used to call the Wasco girls the Wasco headhunters. It's a cold head name to have. I didn't ever want that reputation. I wanted to be known as I'm gonna hit your pockets. In the streets, they called me Serenity. That's what I was known in the streets as a dancer in Bakersfield. And I had different names from up and down to California to the west side of Chicago. I didn't play no goddamn games when it came to me being in the streets.
When did it get to where it was overwhelming?
It never was, because it was an adventure for me.
So your first trick was here, but you went elsewhere.
I went my first trick was here. Then from there to LA. So my timeline started here. I can tell you my timeline started here. 1998, 601 Taylor Street, apartment 8. Back in the day, during that time, you had NHP, the dancing group.
Okay.
So dancers was the main thing. Battling was the main thing. I loved to dance. So it was prostitution and entertainment for me. Because I was how can I say, how do you say, video vixen? You
Okay,
know,
video vixen, okay.
you know, in the day, and a prostitute at night.
Okay. And how was that?
Day and night. So if one thing didn't work for me, I had the other.
Yeah, the one.
If I didn't feel like sucking no dick for no money, or fucking for no money, one thing I can do is dance. With clothes on.
Right.
So it depends on how you have multiple skills.
Right. So when did you leave here and go to the big city?
LA?
Yeah.
I left at 13 on the bus.
Oh, okay.
On the bus. I left right here. This Amtrak right here. Greyhound.
Yeah.
That's when we had the Greyhound with the dog on it.
Yeah.
I got on that motherfucker and went to 9030 Figueroa. My auntie lived there. To this day, I moved to 9030 Figueroa. And that's popping, by the way. But I don't want it no more. Figueroa was where it started for me. I became a streetwalker. And my auntie and them, I didn't have to, but hell, why not? Shit, hell, everybody else out there doing it, shit, I can get it too. Made the mistake to call home one day. FBI. They put
Because you were a minor.
Yeah, they put you know how they have the kids on the box?
Yeah.
Missing person out on me. I call home. I told them I'm not coming home. What I gotta do to divorce y'all? They sent me back. It still didn't work for me.
Well, so when you say they sent you back, you mean like you got caught up in
LA? Well, the dude that I was with was older. I was a minor, and I didn't want him to go. I didn't want him to go to prison based on because I lied to him about my age.
Right.
And that was what became the reality of it all for me was here I am with this older dude, and I lied to him, but I'm in love with him, and he in love with me. So he put me back on the bus and sent me home.
Okay, so this was a pimp.
No.
It was just a friend.
This was a dude I met at Venice Beach.
Oh, okay.
He was a major in the game. I'm just gonna put it like that.
Uh-huh.
And I never had a pimp.
Okay.
I had uncles that was pimps, but ain't no man can ever say now I didn't turn some niggas here in Bakersfield into them. I taught them the game and made them pimps.
Okay.
But I ain't never had a pimp. Not a day in my motherfucking life. And I never will. I always was a madam. I always control my own money. I always control my own bitches. Now, one thing I have had was bitches. Lots of bitches. White bitches, Hispanic bitches, any type of bitch you can think of, I had.
Right.
Because it wasn't about the control. It was the safety.
Oh, okay. It was more like a safe home.
It's a safe home for them. Okay, we gonna get out here. We gonna go as a team. So you will have three of us. Three of us will go on Sunset Boulevard.
Uh-huh.
4 of us will go on Normandy.
Right.
We meet at the same fucking spot at the same time because we moved as a unit.
Right.
Yeah, we moved as a unit because it was easier that way.
But when you went to LA, was you not? I mean, well, you couldn't have been scared because you.
No, first time I went to LA, I got my ass whooped in a yard, and even though I was getting jumped in the game, they told me that where you gonna sound like you one of the country girls from Bakersfield or something. We gonna jump your ass. They jumped me, but I didn't know I was getting jumped into a gang at the time. All my A&M on 93rd and Figueroa, they was Main Street and Hoovers. So I got jumped into the Hoovers at age 13. Didn't know I was getting initiated into a gang. I had to fight my way to live at my auntie house. My auntie had 5 kids, 5 girls. And then me, I made 6. So they kind of was raw and uncut already.
Okay. So they was already out there.
They was already out there, but not like that. I was the boastful one because I already, could dance, got many talents, can sing, all the stuff. So my auntie was just cool. She was just cool. She never told me no on what I had to do because when we didn't have it, I knew how to go get it. And I wasn't going to have them go get it. I'm going to go get it. They were under me. They're still alive to this day. My auntie still live on 93rd. Real talk. And Figueroa is nothing like it was in the early 90s, like it is now. It's more raw. You're out there with nothing on. I didn't move like that. I was going to go get me some candy out of stuff.
Why do you feel like the women gotta have nothing on compared to having something on?
It's the generation. I was born in 82. I was born for a man just to have a little bit of a thought process, to have an imagination on what you got up under there.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. So now it's like they want to see right now.
Right now,
what they
buying. It's right. That type. It's what we project when we on TV.
Do you feel like more now women are being trafficked instead of doing it on their own? Do you feel nowadays, or do you feel like
sex trafficking is always going to be alive? It's $1 million corporation and it's a business.
So you don't think it could be stopped? Is what you're saying?
It can never be stopped because the government controls it. What you can do is build a safe community outside for girls to get themselves to conform, because it's hard to kick a Jezebel spirit, period. That's a soul tie.
When you say a Jezebel, because people don't know, what is that?
If you ever was raised in a church house, which I was, several, it's a such thing called a Jezebel spirit. It's a soul tie. That's just like when you lay down with a man with no condom. You don't know how many bitches he didn't fuck, right? You just got all these energies put onto your body. When's the last time you had a salt bath? Ask a motherfucker. If a real motherfucker know anything about spiritual warfare and how you can be somewhere, it's just like when we go to the club. You know when it's gonna pop off because your energy tells you right. It's the same thing when you sucking the dick and laying down with a motherfucker. How many souls did I collect? Ties did I collect from the time I was 13 until now? Which I've been retired from that shit for 22 years by the grace of God. I really stopped when my daughter was 18. But 22 years clean from being a streetwalker, period.
What made you stop?
The Grand Sleeper of Los Angeles, California.
And explain what that is.
He is a serial killer that preyed on girls. I'm a survivor of him. I'm Jane Doe 71 and 70 out of Los Angeles, California. He was the mechanic of my best friend. They caught him for killing. Was a serial killer that killed early in the 80s, 1980s. They caught him in 2016. They killed him in 2020.
And how did you get connected with him? Like how?
Streetwalking. I was a streetwalker at the time. I would walk all the way from Figueroa to Normandy to Broadway. That's the whole stroke. If you cross over from Figueroa to Century, you had to get permission because the Dimmer Lanes ran it. See how I move gracefully? Tell you one thing about being a prostitute. You cannot go to anybody's hood unless you get clearance to. I was from where I was from, but every block has a tax.
Wow.
So I didn't have to have a pimp. I'm going to tell you why. Who's the nigga that runs your block? I need to talk to him. I need protection from 9030 Figueroa all the way to Imperial. And I paid them. And I never got fucked with. From 93rd all the way to Imperial. Till this day. I go where the fuck I want to go. Who said you need somebody to have authority over your pussy? It ain't no different from when you on a goddamn date. Yeah. It's no difference from when you on a date. So to me, what is really really is a prostitute?
Because I hear a lot of people scared of pimps. They scared of the pimps, or especially when they get involved with one.
Ain't nothing wrong with pimps. It's just some bitches don't know how to manage their money.
But why can't they break loose from that?
You can't break loose to that because you in it. You in it. You either in it for one thing and one thing only. The sole purpose for him to take care of you, unless you're gonna build something. Depends on what type of pimp you got. A pimp you got that really love his bitch is gonna put her in a house. He gonna give her a car. He gonna lace her up and all of that.
So how? I think what I'm asking is, how do you, if say there's a young lady
That
wants
prefers one?
that no wants to leave, wants to get out, but the pimp is. How do they?
It's easy to get out. Move to another motherfucking state. That's the whole point. Is a lot of these women don't have nowhere to go. Because if your pimp taking all your money, that gives him control. Which, hands down, I'm not knocking none of my pimp brothers. I love all of them. Pimp and Red, Kim, rest in peace. Big Mama Shirley in West Side of Chicago, they took me under their wing and all that at the end of the day. So let's don't get it misconstrued. Having the pimp is not bad. That wasn't a choice for me. What might be for you might be for you, but might not be for me.
Right. Do you feel like hoeing is like a 9 to 5?
No.
Or do you feel like it's something that
it comes with survival? One thing I say about being a hoe, and I'm gonna say this to any woman: if I was to lose it all tomorrow, and I had nobody that I could call, one thing I rest assured, I got the hot pocket. The hot pocket gonna pay my goddamn bill. Hot pockets is gonna pay your bills. And if you got to make it hot and make it pop, that's what's gonna happen.
I mean, you know what? I can think of so many things to say about that. And the reason why I say that is because you get so many women out here that are jumping from man to man and not being paid for it, and just it's kind of like you a free hoe, or you know what I'm saying, a free prostitute, shall I say?
Right.
But I know a lot of people talk down on prostitution. What
we've been dealing with prostitution since the 1800s. The slave masters used to come in there and just take it the way they wanted to. So how was that? Brothel houses, all the stuff. Girl, let me tell you, Bakersfield ain't all innocent. It used to be some. Why you think we all messed up in Bakersfield? Half of us incest the hell out because we don't know who the hell cousin, uncle, sister, brother is. And that's the truth. Mm-hmm. And that brings me to you. That's why I fucks with white men.
So why you say you? Why? Okay, so that's why you. That's why you mess with white men.
Yeah, fucked around and stood on the wrong Peter, and was a goddamn cousin. So ever since then, I've been traumatized. I passed. What's your last name?
Hey, no,
I'm on this shit. It was an accident. But what's the fuck is your last name? You want to know who the fuck you are?
Gotta ask.
I didn't know at that
Gotta
time.
ask.
Okay, oh well.
What's your mama name? Last name?
Yeah.
What's your last name?
Shit, I fucked around and I said, oh no, I'm not dealing with nothing else in the town. I'm fucking gonna get me a white boy. I was with him 17 years. We lived out here, and it was hell for him because I wasn't out yet. I wasn't ready to be done. I was still in a relationship and still getting money because he moved too slow for me. He wasn't a provider for me. Prostitution was a rebirth of me, and it was a life lesson for me because I ruined a whole marriage. Of 17 years, I ruined a man because I thought I was ready to get out. And God finally brought me somebody that loved me, and he suffered. That's the pillar of it when it comes down to it. When you accept to find a man that accept you being a hoe, accepting your mama abandoning you, accepting you being in the game, accepting everything about you, and you're not ready. You say you're ready for love, and it's there. That's the first time I felt love was when I met him because he accepted all my faults. But I told myself I was so ready, and I wasn't.
What made you not ready? When you say you're not ready, you adamant about that you weren't ready. What was it?
The love, the feel of love, because it was the first time that I felt it.
So were you afraid of it?
I was afraid of it.
Yeah.
So that's what it was. It wasn't that you just you didn't know how to handle.
I didn't know how to handle somebody that could wake up to me in the morning and give me flowers. I wasn't used to that. So what do you do? What do you do when that happens? And it's a lot of women that become hoes after they hurt too.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Definitely true.
After a man hurts them, they become a hoe. And then you got some men
that
that become hoes too, right?
I'm gonna say
From
right
the female hurting them.
Yeah.
I gotta lock this door real quick.
when you get hurt, that's how it goes.
Prostitution come real. Yeah. You get the perking.
So do you feel like sometimes I'm a double back?
No. The devil can never have my soul again. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think hell, I go sometimes months and months and months without even being intimate with anyone. That's the pillar because now I'm single. You know, my previous relationship of 17 years, it's hard for me to find love right now. Not because of the conditions of what's going on in my past, because I'm not the same person I was then that I am now. I'm very more mature and can deal with anything that comes my way. But back then, 18, 22 years ago, I wasn't no joke. I'm going to get you. I shut down the club out here stripping. You back in the day. We go
Make
right
sure
back
if
to the day.
we got any questions, let me know.
I'm on here.
So,
I had a question for you since you just said what you said. Really, how does one date you now? How does a man approach you? How do you say you're not the same? You're mature now. How does that happen? How does that approach happen to you? Like, and then what is the conversation like? When do you reveal you?
I don't let my past define me. And if any man that is concerned about something that happened 22 years ago that has nothing to do with who I am now.
Okay.
So that's how it has to be a trust.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to start off with being a
So for
friendship
instance,
first.
if you get with a man and he was a former pimp, you wouldn't want to know that.
I wouldn't care what he was.
But with would you want to know?
Yeah, but of course. But if a man asks me straight up, have you ever sold your pussy? Hell yeah. Have I ever sucked some dick? Absolutely.
But a man is not gonna just come out and ask you that.
But the thing with me is I volunteer it.
Okay, so you do let them know.
I do let them know about my past. My past was in the entertainment, me being an escort, however you want to do it. My thing is prostitution. Selling pussy is selling pussy. You could put any type of the definition behind it. An escort is basically a prostitute. It's the same shit. It's just more eloquently put in a dictionary.
Can you? I don't know if you kept count of how many men
Have I been with?
you've been with in the prostitution game, not
In the prostitution line? Well, I was in the porn industry as well, so are we separating that from when I was in the prostitution?
I mean, I feel like that would be all connected some type of way, right?
Well, see, my thing was I wasn't good at a man penetrating me. I was good with sucking dick. So my head game was so cold to where if I decided and it was a package deal, the most Johns they want head. Because I'm too expensive for the pussy. So just the fucking deal with me, it was a lot back then.
I heard because I did some looking around on different YouTubes and stuff, and they're like, females are making other prostitutes look bad because of
the price.
They're lowering the standard.
$50 to suck a dick. I've never sucked a dick for $50 a day in my life. I always was paid $500 for a blowjob.
And do you feel like when you started at 9, you had not even 9. I'm gonna say 17 maybe or 18. Did you feel like, you know what? I'm just gonna get a job, a regular.
I did have a job.
Okay.
I was a dancer. Was a stripper. Had my own business.
Okay.
I was a dancer and a prostitute. If you heard what I said, prostitute and dancer. So, dancer in the day, prostitute at night.
Okay.
I started my business right here. It used to be called Chocolate Drop Entertainment. When I first got touched down here 17, I was banging 7 over crib. I came down here. I had my own business card called Chocolate Drop Entertainment. I started off with dancing at certain different places under the umbrella of other people, which I'm not going to say no names. And they had dance groups. Some of the dance groups was boom, boom, boom. And then you had the t-shirt and no panties on came off with the dance group that was under that.
Right.
You had the grown and sexy. This shit go all the way back to Sharky's Hurricane. I had a fake ID by then. I knew how to maneuver. By that time, I was 21 at 17. Where you was partying at, I was there.
Wow.
Because I had the ID to do it. Now I'm in the big leagues. I'm making money.
You the same age.
I'm 42.
Me too.
Yeah. So I had IDs. Yeah, I had IDs. But Sharky now, we weren't supposed to be in 95, 96 over here at these goddamn clubs. Not even in the goddamn Elks.
Right.
But I was there because I had an ID.
Right.
Or use the cousin ID blacker than me that looked like me to get in that motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, I feel like it's what we're exposed to. LA was the shit for me. LA changed my whole life.
If you can look at 9-year-old Shontae in the mirror right now, what would you tell her?
Don't ever eat a big stick ice cream ever motherfucker again. Because you might subject to slip on the dick and become a prostitute. On God. On God.
So you don't think it was any mental issues that made you
Hell
want
no.
to do
Hell no.
You think it was just the
Hell
process?
no. It was just the big stick. I ain't lying. Because it's so pretty and you take it out the wrapper. No, this real shit though. Real life. Well, wasn't no mental shit. I get up every morning and all I see is fucking cows, chickens, and a big old backyard. This is not going to be my life at age 9, 10, 11, and 12. Some people don't even make it out of Kern County to see the fucking world. So it was a bigger picture for me. So why not let my whole body and my mouth take me around this motherfucker?
So if you say, for instance, okay, you 9, your mother wasn't on drugs, your father was in your life, and you still was sucking popsicles. Do you feel like stuff would have been different for you?
I feel like my thing was that God designed it to be the way it was gonna be.
Okay.
I don't live my life based on what if.
Mm-hmm.
Because if that was the case, then where was my daddy at? He didn't know I even existed because it was a lie told with family secrets. Everybody knew my mama was sick the whole time. I didn't find out till later on. I would hear the stories, but the older I got, it made sense.
Mm-hmm.
It made more sense to me. So it wasn't that. It's just that no one wants to be in a place where they're unwoman. Not saying that I wasn't loved or whatever. I have got a whole goddamn family in Wasco and Bakersfield that I don't even fucking know. Come to find out, my last name ain't my last name. My last name just got changed to Parker 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I lost my dad, Earl Parker, which I'm going to say my daddy name because I'm proud of it, died in 2011 in Bakersfield. I'm in your backyard in 2011. I live on fucking P in Brundage. Never knew my father wanted me. So would I say trauma when you say that? Absolutely. It came from as a child of family secrets because every fucking family has them. You go from living in a small community and then I threw myself in the city because I wasn't being treated right.
Were you ever molested at a young age?
Hell no.
Never.
Mm-mm. If anything, I would have been molesting the old motherfucker. You come to me and tell me some shit. Where's your wallet at? If it came down to that. No, I was never molested, but I did have a relative. I'm not gonna say no names. Because for discernment reason. I mean, non-disclosures.
Right.
That did proposition me.
Mm-hmm.
And it cost him about $20,000 by the time I got done with his bank account.
Mm.
Wow. One of my relatives came at me raw and I peeled him. Period. Because at the end of the day, uncles can get fucked too for the right price. Straight up. So
wow,
that's
deep.
Ain't no sugarcoating shit when it comes to the prostitution life. You can get pimped for the right price at the end of the day. It's not a bad thing. I'm not proud of what it is. I'm not proud of what it was. But the day my life changed was 2016 when I moved to Ventura County.
Let's talk about it.
I became a new person. I got into commercial fishing, which I was raised out here on the fishing banks as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And I became a commercial fisherman. I started working on the harbor, traveling. I learned how to build my first engine, a 450 block engine to put in my first boat. I bought my first boat in 2016, a 1977 Stedman. I became a captain of my own boat. I found something outside of the streets that I love to do. And it took my son, who was now 22 years old, from being in a graveyard where his brother is buried from gangbanging. So a reality came. It did trickle down to my daughter, but it started to trickle down. The lifestyle of what I lived started to trickle down to my son. He wanted to start getting into pimping hoes, and because he was exposed to so much when I had him. I had him in 2002. I was still in the gang during that time.
So you go to your kids. When you had your kids, was you in a relationship or was it like a trick baby?
My son was not a trick baby. Well, I ain't gonna say he was a trick baby. He was a dope dealer's baby.
Okay.
Put it like that. That's when the dope dealers around here really started to pay attention. I peeled their ass too.
So could you have how many kids if you don't remember?
I have a total of 6, and two deceased, 2 adopted, and 2 living, 18 and 22.
Okay. And all of them were in a relationship that you was in a relationship with?
No. My son was a dope dealer baby. My twins are of the white boy I was with for 17 years.
Okay. And
then the other 2 was a dope deal that went bad. This is straight up. So it different roles in different times.
Yeah.
You know, prostitution can take you and line you up with the right individuals like that. So 2016 it changed for me.
Yeah.
I didn't bring none of this to the water. I had, because I lived in a rich neighborhood, I had to wash it all away. I didn't no longer want to be affiliated with any of my other outside influences. I cut the cord.
So how was that? Because I know it's easier said than done. So how were you able to leave something you've done for so many years, since 9?
Because I had somebody else invest in me to give me a vision of change.
Okay.
I was put in a community of wealth. They taught me wealth. By the time I got done with that, I began being a life insurance agent. I was a life insurance agent from 2019 to 2021. I came back to Bakersfield and started to pay for people in our community's licenses. I was the top recruiter for PHP agency. And I came back to give back. Okay. I would sign up people and tell them, look, you looking for a job? I'll pay the $199 for you so you can be able to start. Nobody, $20,000 cash came out of my own pocket, my own money during that time. And none of my family stepped up to produce with getting life insurance, 401k, but we still doing car washes on the corner, and you calling me asking me $30, $40, but you at the club, you could invest in a $100 policy to basically cover your whole goddamn family for $20,000.
Do you feel like you would have still been in the game if you didn't meet this person?
Yes. Yes. My first official husband changed my life. That's on paper. My first official husband I married changed my life. He made me the woman I am today, and he is also white.
Okay.
He changed my life. He became my best friend. He didn't care about nothing. He lived the lifestyle, so that's why we got along. He would go pick up prostitutes. But
okay.
prostitutes, for him, it became to where it became too much for my husband to where he was getting caught up, and I had to become the protector. So the protector of him, because I never tried to change him. My husband lived that life with wanting to pick up girls and do different shit. Me, I was out the business. I was done. When I met my husband, he met me singing. He met me on a whole nother platform, fishing and living with my other husband. So I got introduced by me going back to Oxnard with my previous that I lost, the love of my life I lost. God blessed me with another one to wash everything away about me, to make me a different woman than I was. Because by that time, my baby daddy was done. He didn't want me no more. Because I wasn't done with that life. But when I met my husband, I married on paper, I didn't have to worry about nothing. And he took care of me and I took care of him. So if I hadn't met him, you're absolutely right. I probably would be still stripping. I wouldn't say so much far as the prostitution part, but dancing, yes.
Okay. So moving forward, so you said you're helping women now with the prostitution. How are you helping them, like with your story, or are you helping them?
My story.
Mm-hmm.
My story. So I saved a girl before I came here. Non-disclosure, but I saved her. She was being sex trafficked in Oxnard. And the building that I have, my building is at Serenity Cleansing Tree, 237 East Pleasant Valley Road, Fort Wayne, California. I have a building. I have my own ENI number.
We will post that on the comments later.
So I have a building, and basically she was being sex trafficked on the opposite side of the building next door. I happened to be at work that day, and I was like, it's something weird going on next door at this building. I just cannot understand where this crying and shit's coming from. She was sex trafficked from Orange County.
She was took from Orange
She was
County?
Orange County and brought to Ventura County. By the time I got to her, the police wanted me to put her in a safe place, so I did. I have connections out of Lone Poke, California. Bridge House is a place where they take in people and help them. And it's an awesome program that they have. And I got her to safety. I put her up for a week at a hotel with me being there with safety. And got her clothes, got her shoes, everything she needed, because he took everything. He took her IDs. He took her EBT cards, everything. And she's doing good today.
That's good. So with trafficking, because I know it's a difference between the two, right? Like, because you're being took somewhere. So when a person is being trafficked, what are they getting, like kidnapped, or is it like
sex trafficking is when you go from, you have a group of people that take you and you're forced to work.
So are you being like kidnapped and then being took to certain places? But they're drugging you as well, right?
She was on drugs. She was he would drug her with methamphetamines. I got her clean off of that. I went 7 days with making her go cold turkey to get her in the right state of mind. She was off her mental medications for some time. Yeah.
How do you feel like something like that can be stopped, this trafficking situation? I know it's bad here, it's bad everywhere, but what would be something you do?
When someone can take the time to invest all this farmland, invest in the same programs that they have. It's different when it's healing eternally, mentally, and emotionally. It's different. You talking about spiritual stuff now, because I'm dealing with girls that have been taken. You feel what I'm saying? I need to take them to a safe place. Safe places outside of the city. If you traumatized and you thrown on the street, you're going to be able to get your mind right. The best serene place you can do to is in the mountains, so you can cleanse yourself all the way around, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. with no one around, because you don't know what that person is involved in. Not injecting a person with medicine, not putting them in a mental institution, none of that. Free space is the best healing power. You'd be surprised what a mountain retreat would do for a person in 1 week.
Right. And they can't run away because it's too far.
Now you're dealing with what? Eternal. Get your journal, write down your feelings, your thoughts. Let's sit down, let's talk about it. Okay, let's go walk that river and put your feet in it and let that currency flow through your body so you can get your mentally ground up to feel what you need now. Now we're going spiritual. That's why my business is called Serenity Cleansing Tree, because I had to do some eternal cleaning. I had to take my shoes off and ground my feet in the land to pull. Because if your root chakra and all this is all off balance, what you think your mind is gonna be? If my mind is telling me I'm on drugs and I'm a fuck up and I don't have nowhere clear space to release all that, right. The city ain't gonna do it because there's too many distractions. But the first thing you want to do is lock you up and put you in a mental institution and tell you you crazy bullshit. You'd be surprised what a camping trip will do. And that's what I did. I took her to a resort, cleansed her up for 7 days. A Navy resort that I've been connected to for the past native for 7 years. Chumash Casino area, they have places to where you can go and help people cleanse themselves.
So when women they get them, they drug them, and they get too far on drugs, they just let them loose, huh?
Yeah.
Because now they're no good.
They're no good. No. Now your habit is costing more from what you can supply and what you work for. So you get strung out on drugs, you're no longer performing. You too busy.
But why pump them with drugs if you don't want them to get strung out? That's crazy to me.
You know, that's how the devil works.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I didn't want to keep talking.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah, this is very interesting, and I'm glad that you came out of this. Bells ringing. You came out. You went positive. I feel like the background tells a lot of why you went the direction you went, and I feel like, do you feel like other women out there are the same way as far as being a child, like, or do you feel like some women came from a good home and still went out, or do you feel like maybe no father, no mother, or either?
I think that it's a lot of women in this world that's torn between many things. It can be a bad divorce. It could be numerous of things. The thing is that, are you ready to heal and do what's best for you? And when you're going through trauma, that's not everybody's fault. It comes a point in life, even when you get grown, you have to hold yourself accountable for your actions and get the help. But I don't believe self-medication if you've been molested, I don't believe in self-medication that a person needs to be locked up and put on all these different medications, because I seen that as a kid. It didn't do good for my mama. It did not do good for my mother. I was a child that was raised in damn near mental institutions. Good Samaritan Hospital is right here.
Yeah. You
think that's where a child, Mercy Southwest, they got a mental institution. Nobody wants to see that. So now that I'm older and a lot wiser, and don't get it messed up that I don't be out dancing, doing my thing at the club, or if you see me turning up and if I'm half naked, that's just me. I'm proud of myself. I was almost pushing 400 pounds and I'm 180 today. So let's be clear. I don't dress it all the way up to make it not be real. I dress it up for me to be me. And I feel like sometimes when we're professionals like we are, people dress it up too much. But you at church on Sunday. Real talk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm a saint, but when it comes to that life, that's behind me. It's been behind me. And yes, I want to help girls, and absolutely anybody can come out of it. I'm living proof of that.
Right.
I survived a serial killer. You can't tell me, and that was the most daunting time of my life as a kid. with a group of girls, and my best friend was killed. She never made it home. So when I say it's a warning before destruction with everything that you do, from the time you walk out this door to the time you get home, anything can happen. Mm-hmm. But does it make it okay to keep on saying, okay, I'm gonna change it, and then you fuck around and it's too late? You have to hold yourself accountable.
Yeah. So as we close up, is there anything that you want to tell the people live that are watching about your story, about what you got going on, about is there any, maybe if some girls right now watching that are out there prostituting or being trafficked, is there anything you can say to them or want to say to them?
Get to a safe place, or if you don't have a safe place, I do have my own page, Shontae Parker, where you can go in and inbox me. I have a 800 number that's a hotline, that's my own hotline. You know, all I can say to anybody is if you want change, just be ready for it. Don't, you can't tiptoe on your Jordans and put one foot in and put one foot out. You got to be really serious about the change. And that's what it is for me. I'm serious about the change. And, I'm gonna be like this. I'm gonna tell y'all, it's a walk. You gotta put God first with it, but I ain't with all that getting in the church and playing that mental game. What I'm saying, I'm spiritually driven. You know what I mean? And what not knocking the church, but it's hypocrites there too. It's cup, doing some stuff they ain't supposed to be doing in the church house. We're not gonna go there. But the whole principle of the matter is ask God and get on your knees what He need to do. Sometimes prayer is the most powerful thing against an entity in the spirit. And I'm gonna leave y'all with that.
Yeah. Love it. If anybody has any questions, I will be posting Shontae's information on the Facebook page and in the comments on this live. The prostitution game and the trafficking situations is bad here in Bakersfield as well. And it's time for a change. I know these young ladies out here, when I'm just driving down Union, I see how young they are. I see how vulnerable they are. And it's, you never know what's going on with them. Sometimes they're on drugs. Most of the time I feel like they're on drugs. And I don't know, we need to get people out there that's willing to help them, because I feel like that's what they need. We never know what they're going through or what they have been through. So we will be closing this out. Be ready for next week, episode 9. Stay tuned of who will be on next. Also, who's going to say, if you want to be a sponsor for the show, for the last 2 shows, let me know, inbox me. Season 2 will be a lot different. We'll be bringing in, real people, of course, celebrities, actors, etc., letting you know about that life as well. So let's end this, and I will see you guys next Sunday.
Have a blessed day, y'all.
Yeah, let's stop it. Stop.
You're gonna go figure out shit.
All right. Y'all, it's right there. Y'all good? All right, Desi P is done tonight. In string. You good. It look good. It look good. I'll show you right now. Not that there. It just went off.
Okay.
See how it has that? Well, we just have to go back.
We had questions, see?
No.
Oh, I
No,
don't
they
know.
was just commenting. Theo, I'm good, bro. How you been? They talking on the line. I've known Shawnee since we were little. Even though her struggles, she's always been a good person. One thing I don't. One thing is I don't like a pimp, Fontaine.
Well, I gotta get somebody, Dijon, to read the comments and questions.
I wanted to. I want to hear
Because
it.
people, she wanted to hear what people had to say and stuff. So
I hope it came out
that
good.
was, it did.
I'm gonna be real 100 about it.
I gotta.